All right, guys, if you haven't been following the P320 controversy with them arbitrarily going off in a holster, this video is not to assert that the claims are not true. However, there's definitely some very telltale signs that might not be true. And this is a new pistol. So those are my caveats. This is a new pistol. I'll probably have, I don't know, a couple hundred rounds to it. Not very much. And I'm going to show you how this thing works, at least from an internal perspective. All right? So first things first, the firearm is cleared. Okay? And let's talk about the safety. The safety blocks the trigger. So since the safety is on, there's no way I can pull the trigger because the safety blocks the trigger from being pulled. I would prefer that it block the Sear, Sig, if you can remake this, block the Sear, not the trigger, block the Sear, okay? Because in essence, you end up blocking the trigger. Anyway, so I would have it block the Sear, but it blocks the trigger, not the Sear. So I'm going to put it on fire, and I want to show you guys something. Check this out. Okay, so this is the back of the 320. The safety is off. You guys see that movement right there? That is the Sear, okay? So as I pull the trigger, it's pushing that Sear down. That's at least 1 millimeter in thickness. There's another millimeter. There's another millimeter before it actually discharges, okay? So there's a millimeter, and then there's probably another millimeter before it discharges, okay? You guys see that? Now listen. There it is. Also inside of this that you can't see is a drop safety. All right, now what is supposed to happen is when you pull the trigger, it connects with the drop safety to push it up out of the way so that the striker, if released arbitrarily without pulling the trigger, let's say, would not strike the back of a primer. Okay, this is a laser cartridge from Mantis X. You can see the laser, it works if I push the back of the cartridge, okay? So you guys can see that. So what happens is if the striker strikes the back of this, it will emit a laser. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this laser cartridge. I'm going to push it into the chamber. I'm going to close the chamber. Now, watch right here. I'm going to pull the trigger, and it should emit a laser, right, once the striker falls. Yeah? One more time, just for test. Okay, there it is. Now, I've recocked the gun. I want you guys to see something. I want you to look in the same spot. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it all safe, okay? And I'm going to push. Actually, I'm going to keep it on safe. I'm going to keep it on safe, and I'm going to push the Sear down without pulling the trigger. Watch. Now, what's key here is to see if there's a laser that comes out. Okay, so here we go. No laser. Now, just so you know, I'm going to try to pull the trigger. Nothing happens because I have the safety on. Okay, even when I take the safety on and I try to pull the trigger, nothing happens. Okay, now I'm going to cock it again. Okay. I'm going to keep the safety off, and I'm going to just press the Sear down. No laser. And just so you guys can see, and this is unedited, by the way, right? Up to this point when I started doing this test, unedited. I'm going to pull the trigger. Nothing happens. And put it on safe. Pull the trigger. Nothing happens. I'm going to recock it. I'm going to put it on fire. And then I'm going to pull the trigger. All right. Again, I'm not saying or discounting the claims that it has discharge within a holster. I don't know if they fixed the problem. It seems to me that it would be very, very, very difficult for this gun to discharge without pulling the trigger. Even if the Sear was to not engage. Later on, I'm going to do another video. I'm going to break this down. We're going to do some pictures and stuff of the Sear and the back of the striker to show you what I'm talking about. So stay tuned and check out my links below. Back out.